Okay. So good morning to everyone. So previously we had a discussion on the control information and the multi-antenna transmission type, right? So we had discussion about the different control information like DCI, CFI, as well as the HR indicator, which is HI. So next part will be on discussion of the broadcast channel as well as the multicast channel. So we have observed that the antenna, how we are going to transmit our data through a broadcast channel in our mobile phone. So to implement this thing, we have two buses, which we call it as a master information block bus, and one more is the system information block. So in the video also we had seen that it is with respect to the physical broadcast channel and physical downlink channel, right? Secure downlink channel which is present. So these are some condition which you are going to observe for transmission of your data. So when you are broadcasting your data to the multiple broadcast in the sense meaning is that what you are going to transmit to multiple people. So from these multiple people, you are not supposed to get any acknowledgement, is it or no? So whatever I transmit, it is only orally which I am doing. But how many of you have listening to that one? How many are responding? So those all things it is not present here. If I am calling for one particular person, so one to one message if I am transmitting, so I will be having some acknowledgement kind of a thing. But here in this broadcast type, it is only I am transmitting the data. Whether you are receiving it or not, whether acknowledgement is present or not, so those things are not available, right? So that is the feature of what a broadcast it is present. So broadcast channel carries information such as a downlink system bandwidth, antenna configuration, and reference signal power, right? So when broadcasting the thing, so a reference signal power means what exactly the device configuration setup value will be present. So that power value it has to be taken care, right? Because broadcasting is the indicating that it has to transmit to multiple users. So when I'm transmitting for a multiple users, so it should support that information should be it should be carried to the all the devices. That thing you need to take care, right? So the user requirement can get necessary system information after cell search or synchronizing process. Due to the large size of the system, information field it is divided into two portion. One is master information block, one is system information block. Right. Physical broadcast channel contains basic system parameters necessary to demodulate the physical downlink secure channel, right? Which contains again the SIB. SIB is nothing but your system information block. So you have these two points, right? One is master information block, one is system information block. So why these two blocks are very mandatory in the broadcast channel, you might be thinking of. So you can observe by the name master information block. So when I'm transmitting, broadcasting a data, so I am a master, and when I broadcast the data, it is going to reach to the multiple user. So they will be acting as a slave. Okay, so that is why he is giving authority to that particular person who can transmit his data to all its user. Okay, this is why you require master information block with where he gathers all these information. What information is going to gather? He is going to gather what is the bandwidth to which it has to be spread, what is the antenna configuration, and what is the reference signal power. So these all things will be measured in this master information block. Right. So one more block which is there, which is with respect to the system information block. So antenna components, the hardware which is going to be used for broadcasting the data, it is having its own system specification, like how much power it has to weigh, right? Because he has to decide how many users are there, and based on that user, how much power it will calculate. So those all information will be measured in the system information block. That is why these two are major part in this broadcast channel. Right. Again, for this one, if any error it is a, when I am transmitting now, you observe that unknowingly one or two people they have unmuted their data. Now what happens? Unmuted themselves. So whatever the voice which was been broadcasted, so it was sending an echo to me, right? So what we have to do? I need to identify those type of errors, right? So to do this one again, we have a error check bits, right? So error detection is provided through a 16-bit CRC. So here I will be able to know because whoever has unmuted there, I will be able to observe that which person has done in this channel. Right. So broadcast channel uses a fixed coding rate and tail biting convolutional coding with rate of 1 by 3 is used. So all specification with respect to the error detection and correction part. So he is going to identify how many bits I am going to transmit, right? What is the rate at which it will be doing? What is the encoding and decoding procedure will be? So that specification he has listed here. So for one networking company, where it will be the standardized part. So that is why he is not giving all that information here. Now fixed modulation scheme, which is your QPSK, and is transmitted either one antenna or open loop transmit diversity. So you are going to use a modulation scheme of QPSK for transmitting of your data in the broadcast channel. So by this what we understand is that when I wanted to do a broadcast type, now example what we observe is the through WhatsApp only we are going to broadcast the information because I am going to select multiple people and I am broadcasting. So you just observe why they will name it as a broadcast in the WhatsApp because of these reasons. Right. So in the WhatsApp also you can observe that encryption is done with so and so number of bits. Right. So those are all information because of this point. Here one to one point we are not having. One to point we can do by using the broadcast only, but selecting number of users limited to only one. So it will be acting as a one to one part. Right. The coded bits are matched to 1920 bits for normal cyclic prefix or code prefix and 728 bits for the extended code prefix. So standard bit value, how many bit value it will be there, that is what he is saying. Now you observe that no HARQ is supported, means what, no acknowledgement is being provided in this broadcast type. So for MIMO, BBCH supports single antenna transmission and open loop transmit diversity. PBC is nothing but your physical broadcast channel supports the single antenna transmission. So I am not going to transmit my data through multiple antennas for the multiple users. So when I am broadcasting the data, there will be only one master. That is the meaning here, what he is trying to address. The PBCH occupies the most narrow bandwidth support by the LTE 1.4. So what is the bandwidth specification he has given, and BPCS blindly uses all the possible ways in which the base station may have manipulated the information, and only the correct choice allows the cyclic redundancy check to pass. So whoever wants to broadcast the information, it is not allowed. Okay. So you need to identify, he need to cross verify, and everything it is correct, then he is allowed to broadcast the information. It is just like I wanted to subscribe or start a YouTube channel, right? So he will authenticate, he will check whether what authority is there, and after taking, because to upload a video or to open a channel, it is requiring minimum 3 days of time, because he is going to verify all your credential and then he will allow to you, right? Then again one more condition, if you want to earn from the YouTube channel, then again you need to have the minimum 1000 subscribers for your channel, then only for your videos is going to pay you money. Right? That is the thing. You may be asking, sir, how all these things you will be knowing, because these standardized procedures we followed for when we were launching the SVC EC channel port. Right? So those all condition it will be given there. Okay. So this is one example which I have taken. So by reading the master information block, the mobile can then discover the downlink bandwidth, the remaining bits of the system frame under the PHICH configuration. So P physical, HI stand for hybrid. Once again. Okay, sorry for the interference. Right, so you can observe that the system frame number it is identified by this HI control information which has been provided. Right. So this was all about your broadcast information channel. So earlier we discussed about the one-to-one channel. Now it is with respect to the broadcast channel which has discussed, and finally it is left with respect to the multicast channel. So what is multicast channel? So broadcast in the sense means who are all users which are present. So all it will be present in that group. Right. So now like in the group there are 50 or 60 people which are present. So if I broadcast for 60 people, it will be reached. Right. So one-to-one communication means one particular user I will select, then I will transmit the data. Now one more part which is we call it as a multicast. So out of these 60 people, I will select only around 5 to 10, more than one. It can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 5, it can be 10, or it can be 15. Right? But it is not complete overall users in the channel. So that thing you should be very cautious. Right? So that we call it as a multicast channel. So multicast channel, it is going to use this MBMS service, which is nothing but your multimedia broadcast and multicast service. Supports the multicast/broadcast services in a cellular system. So to implement this one, so you are having this structure, right? So you have a physical channel, you have a medium access channel. So physical channel, it is given by this physical medium access channel, and medium access channel and MTCH and MCCH are the supporting channel for the controlled information and for the transmit information. Right. So here he is giving the procedure for us how we are going to multicast the data to the selected people. Okay. So it sends the same content information to all user equipment or a request. Few of the people are unmuting. Harshita, Harshita. Who is this? Anusha. Okay. So in this principle, MBMS transmission can originate from a single base station or multiple base station. The LTA air interface delivers MBMS using the channel shown in figure. So this is a channel which is going to use for its data transmission. Right. One major design requirement for LTE is to provide enhanced support for MBMS and eMBMS. MBMS is nothing but your multimedia broadcast and multicache service. So E is for evolved part and is achieved through a single frequency network which we call it as SFN. Right. Again it will be having a extended CP. Again it will be having the multiple resource channel. Again multiple user equipment along with the bandwidth. Okay. So again it is going to use which all the channels for doing, right. So it is transmitted on an antenna port 4 to keep it separate from the base station other transmission and does not use transmit diversity and spatial multiplexing or hybrid ARQ. So when I wanted to multi-cache, so what are the requirements I need to identify? First thing is that you need to select the specific user equipment. Okay, you need to be very careful when selecting these things because you should be very sure of the address for which you are transmitting the data. Right. Now that address we are going to represent it by this term which we call it as a user equipment. Right. And when we are transmitting to this multi-point, so one thing what we have to observe is that there should be a fixed modulation scheme and there should be a fixed coding rate. So one it will receive at the fast rate, one it will be receiving at the slow rate. So these all things you should not means you should not change the values. Okay, so each instance of a channel uses a fixed modulation scheme and coding rate which are configured by the RRC, radio resource control signaling part. So point to multi-point mode, UE feedback such as acknowledgement and CAQ cannot be used. So for multicast also it is not possible to transmit the data. Now you observe that in the WhatsApp if I wanted to multicast, so what I do, I will go to the broadcast, I will select around 4 to 5 contact and I will send the message. Now what happens? I have broadcast the message for these 5 people. Now when they receive, so receiver will be not receiving the data as a group. So he will be receiving the data only from that particular person. Is it or no? So when he replies to me back, so it will be separately. It will be not in that broadcast group of 4 to 5 people. Okay, you just try it now. Don't make any group. Okay, just select 4 to 5 people and transmit your signal message and see what reply your friends are. Ask your friends to reply back a message for that particularly what I have transmitted, and you will be receiving it as a separate message but not in a group. Okay, so you will be the owner, you will be having this multicast people, but you are not going to transmit. Next time when you are transmitting to all those 5 people, you can put in that same message, so it will go to 5 people, but when a reply come it is with respect to the only one which is trying to specify. Okay, so PMS can be multiplexed with the following condition. So these are the parts which has been there. So this part multicast channel. So this part we will be discussing tomorrow. Okay. So I had to go rush to the college. I had little work. So I will in between only stop this one. Okay. So another 10 slides are there. So this I will be covering in the tomorrow session or today evening, or I will intimate to you. Okay. Only around 8 slides are left out. So I will intimate you. Okay. I will just take the attendance. This multicast channel we will be discussing in tomorrow's class. Thank you.